Hey guys, and welcome to the very first episode on the JDC Photography and Videography YouTube channel. My name is Jeremy. Yes, those are my initials that you see on the channel. And in this episode, I wanted to use this as kind of an introduction for you guys to get to know me a little bit better and the types of photography I do and what I'm all about. Let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, so right off the bat, who am I? Well, my name is Jeremy. As I said, those are my initials that you see on the channel. Yes, JDC Photography and Videography is the name of my photography and videography company. I thought, we could come up with all these sorts of names that are cute and all that. Nope, I'll just slap my initials on it and say photography and videography, and the rest will speak for itself. Anyway, yes, I started this not only this channel, but my photography company, primarily because I enjoy photography and videography. I primarily do most of my work in northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I love the Great Lakes region. I've lived up here for about 10 to 15 years now. I am originally from down south. I'm originally from the state of Alabama. Yes, I am quite a far piece from home. But this has become home for me. And so this is where I work. This is where I live. This is where I do my photography and videography work. In addition to a little bit about me, the types of photography that I specialize in, I guess it comes down to three things. First of all, I do a lot of outdoor photography, a lot of photography and videography of the flora and fauna, if you will. For example, 2 summers ago, I took a camping trip the first week of June, July, and August. And I got so much footage and so many shots. Some of it I still haven't been able to have time to process. So I'm still working through that. And yet I even, it's funny because I was going through my Lightroom account earlier today and noticed, holy crap, I've got shots that I took a year and a half ago that I still haven't even edited and haven't even released for anything. So anyway, yeah, so the types of photography I do, first of all, outdoor. I like to get a lot of shots of the flora and the fauna. The second type of photography that I specialize in is surrounds events. Different events. It can be anything from a birthday party to, I do photography and videography for the local VFW and American Legion. Part of a group there known as the Sons of the American Legion. And I try to be at all of their events. I want to be able to give these guys, the publicity that they deserve. And so, I like to be at different events around town. Several businesses around town, have invited me in to do photography and videography for them. I'll go out to the racetrack, the ABC Raceway in Ashland, Wisconsin, and do photography for them. Yes, it's freelance. I'm not an employee, just to be clear, but they allow me to come in and give me special access in the pits and that type thing to get those kind of shots. I also do photography at concerts and different places such as the Big Top Chautauqua, as well as Stage North, which is a music and event venue in Washburn, Wisconsin. So I like to do that type of photography as well. And then also I kind of like to dabble a little bit into documentary and vlog style video as well. I'm very comfortable being on this side of the camera. I actually started a YouTube channel goodness, about 5 or 6 years ago, called Northwoods Exploration. And that has been my primary creative outlet for many years. But when I decided that I wanted to go really, head first diving in the deep end on photography and videography, I wanted to have a channel that was definitely in that direction as well. It's not that I'm going to stop making content for Northwoods Exploration. I just wanted to kind of shift the type of content that I was making. This leads us to the third thing. Why did I start this channel? I like photography and videography, but why did I start this channel? And I think right off the bat, at the very top of the list, I wanted a creative outlet. Plain and simple. I wanted a creative outlet. Videography and photography has been my creative outlet for several years now. And without that, I don't know, I'm just not happy. I don't feel as though I am fulfilled as a person without this in my life. I want to take the places I go and the things that I do and share it with all of you guys as well. And I want to bring you along with me on my journeys and show you all these cool things and the places that, I get to go and do and that sort of thing. So I wanted to use this channel as a creative outlet. But second of all, I wanted to share my work with those who care. I know some of you who are maybe watching this channel, you're not really into photography as much as you're into the end result. But for those of you that are, for example, you're interested in photography, you want to understand sort of, how can I put it, how the secret sauce is made, I want to be able to, share my work with you. I want to be able to get, in some cases, into the technical aspects of it as well and be able to share that information. I want to be able to do like gear reviews as well. Kind of like, for example, the primary camera that I use is a Canon M50 Mark II. Eventually I want to make a video as to, what are my thoughts on that camera. I've been using that camera for almost 3 years now. And so I kind of want to share that with you guys as well. And then thirdly, and I think this is the most important aspect of my motivation for starting the channel, and that is I want to help those of you who are new to photography and videography. When I started out doing this, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have anyone to learn from or work with. I think for the first 3 years I did photography, I just used my phone. And I learned a lot of the basics from that. And then as I reached a ceiling as to, how far I could go with photography on a phone, I decided, okay, I'm going to have to upgrade my equipment. And so, I started watching YouTube videos. That's how I learned about things like shutter speed and aperture. That's where I learned things such as, different camera manufacturers and what does this feature do and why is this feature important? Or should I go for prime lenses or for zoom lenses? What should I look for? Being able to have somebody who's been there and done that, who's got the t-shirt 3 times over, having those kind of people to lead you and guide you, I think is extremely helpful. And so part of my mission with this channel is to give back. I want to give back to you guys that, I've been where you're at. I've been where all of this is new and it feels overwhelming. It feels like, where can I turn that's going to give me unbiased information? I can go to Canon's YouTube channel, but they're only going to push Canon stuff. I can go to Nikon's YouTube channel, but they're only going to push Nikon's products. And rightfully so. That's the purpose of their channel. But I'll be honest. Yes, I'm primarily a Canon man, but sitting over here beside me, I've got a Nikon lens because I like Nikon too. And so I want to be able to share this information with you guys. I want to be that resource that I wish I had had when I first got into photography and videography. That's what I want to do with this channel. Sure, we'll do some cool gear reviews. We'll do, take some trips and give reviews of different places and such. Yes, I do want to do that, but my primary motivation on this channel is to share information with those of you that are new and just now getting into photography. Or maybe you've been in photography for years and you're thinking about going into videography as well. I want to take all the lessons that I've learned over the years and share them with you guys and use this platform to help people learn. All right, guys, so that is going to bring our video to a close. You have questions for me? Any thoughts? I would love to hear from you guys. I love interacting with people in the comments. Yes, I know some people get upset. They're commenting about this or that or the other. That's not me. I like interaction. I like, those of you who comment on the video, and that way we can maybe start a dialogue. That's how people learn. That's how people grow. And so if you have thoughts or comments or questions, put them down below. Yes, I read all of my comments and I respond to pretty much all of my comments unless you're super nasty and rude. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it respectful. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What kind of things are you interested in photography? What kind of gear setups do you have? Sooner or later, I'm going to put a review of all of my gear. I've just got to, not have all of it in use in some way for a little while first. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys on here next time. Take care, and I'll see you then.